If I could only pick 1, 2, 3, or 4 investments, these are what I would pick. I would kick things off with an S&P 500 index fund. Picking an S&P 500 index fund handles diversity for me. They're low fee, and they have a long track record of success. And even though the past doesn't guarantee the future, it still helps us when we're making our decisions. SPLG is up 22% in the last 12 months. It has very low fees, and it invests in the 506 companies that make up the S&P 500, and these are their top 10 holdings. You might recognize some of them. If I was a new investor who didn't want to do a whole lot, that would be the only one I would pick. If I could only pick 2 investments, I would pick my S&P 500 index fund and a dividend-paying ETF. Now I've got the diversity from the S&P 500 and the passive income from the dividend ETF. One to consider would be the Schwab US Dividend ETF, which is up 114% in the last decade. It has very low fees, a good dividend, and over the last 5 years, they've grown their dividend 13%. And it gives you exposure to 104 companies, and these are their top 10. If I could pick 3 investments, I would have my S&P 500 index fund, my dividend fund, and a tech-based ETF. I have the S&P 500 for diversity, the dividend fund for passive income, and a tech-focused ETF for explosive high growth stocks. And one example would be XLK, which is up 463% in the last 10 years. It also has an extremely low fee and even pays a small dividend. This fund invests in 67 different companies, and these are their top 10 holdings. If I could pick 4 investments, I would have my S&P 500 index fund, my dividend fund, my tech-based fund, and a real estate investment trust. Realty Income is one to consider. It's up 24% in the last 10 years. It has no fees because it is a stock, not an ETF, and their dividend is very high. And this fund also pays monthly. And if you're saying, whoa, there have got to be other options than the ones you just covered, you're right, I've talked about them. Go on my homepage here on TikTok, check my playlist. There's one on dividends, there's one on ETFs, there's one on real estate investment trusts. And if you're sitting there going, whoa, where's this one? Where's that one? You didn't mention what I like. Make your own video. You're watching me. I'm not watching you. Smash the follow.